the other day we went out with Cameron Black with Addicted Fishing, and we recovered, you already seen the video, we recovered a ton of snags. It was a great day. And the next day Cameron went out here on the river with some clients, and he lost a rod, and that's the second rod he lost in one small little area. So he hit us up and he's like, boys, I gotta get my rods back. They're brand new edge rods. I think they are edge rods, but basically really expensive setups, and they're in one area. So we got me, Debo, and Damien, and we brought the scuba tanks today. Damien's gonna hit bottom and try to clear the whole area out, because I've had like 10 people message me about rods that are lost in this exact area. So Damien's gonna try to go down there. He's gonna have a GoPro on. Hopefully we find Cameron's too, and maybe some others. And Derek and I are gonna be hitting snags meanwhile while he's diving. We're getting the boat in the water. See you guys out on the boat.
It's already really slacking up, because you can tell from that Lewis, like it just barely kind of.
Buddy's trying to take advantage of the last day of summer.
Last day of summer. I know. It's last day of summer. Is that a gillnet boat?
These things look like they're going to the front lines. We're on the rod. A lot of pressure. You have a full tank. Good viz.
We're free diving this one. We should.
You want
to? This white boat, I can tell.
How deep is it?
Let's free dive this one.
35 feet?
40 feet. 40 feet.
40 feet. Rod at the bottom.
Your tank, it's marked. Let's free dive this one. Yeah. Save your tank for the other one. It's marked good.
Change of plans. We're going free diving. No tanks. Gonna try to hit this rod. What is up, guys, and welcome back to our beautiful murky waters in the Columbia River, where normal people don't usually dive. As you could tell, this video was filmed about a month and a half ago, and honestly I just got caught up in other videos, but this one is a straight banger. The boys got after it. We recovered a ton of gear, and it took 2 days to get this snag that we found, plus some other stuff. So I'm really excited about this one. Now, diving for fishing poles is never easy. You have a lot of river to cover. It's in a broad area. It's, especially in this case, it's 40 feet deep. So you get to the bottom, you try to clear as much as you can. The visibility is not great. So it's honestly, it takes time, and we've done it before and we've been successful, but this time we brought scuba tanks just because there was 2 rods and we were hoping to get into other snags as well. About 20 minutes in, while we were diving various parts of the river, we found this log that was about 50 feet long underwater, and it was just caked in flashers. This thing was so loaded that the boys just immediately got super hyped up, and we're like, dude, we need to find these rods and start working on the snag, because there's a lot of work to be done here. That's hilarious. We decided to stop messing around, and Damien went back to the boat and put on the scuba tank to expedite this process, and it wasn't even 10 minutes in before he found the rod we were looking for. Light work for the scuba tank.
I'm gonna get on that snag. Go to your other one. No. Get on that snag. The other one could be gone. So where was it? A little upstream? It's right here.
So we hit it free diving for about 20 minutes, and we're wasting time because we found another snag. So Damien went and got his scuba tank on, and 5 minutes. Rod on.
Got it.
Rod on. That was sweet. Now we're on to find the second rod.
I gotta keep my reputation as the pole master.
Hey. Yeah. The first rod we found was lost only a couple days ago, and Cameron marked it the second he lost it, which makes it so much easier. The second rod we're looking for was lost over a month ago, and it was never marked when it was lost. So he just had a general idea, and we got in, the 3 of us, plus Damien on scuba, and we just started searching all over this area, doing different drifts, hitting different lines, different depths, and we weren't just seeing anything. And most likely what happened is there's a ton of fishermen here. A lot of them run their trolling setups really low, so most likely it got snagged up and someone pulled it up and got a free rod out of it. But we searched for a while, couldn't find it, so we decided to move on to the snag. Dive number 2, no fishing pole.
So amazing.
We went back to that giant snag we found, and honestly, this thing was nothing short of impressive. This log was about 40 to 50 feet long, and one thing I wish I did is go down there and record it from beginning to end, because this thing was just caked in flashers and lead and everything else. I'm not kidding. There's 200 to 300 well, definitely over 200 flashers, close to 300 flashers on it, and a lot of lead, and a bunch of spinners and blades and super baits and all that. So we definitely had our work cut out for us. The only problem is Cameron had only about an hour left before he had to go, even less, and Damien was also almost out of air, which that part's fine, but we were definitely on a time crunch and there was a lot of work to do.
Is that the one flash?
Yeah. Just go down there and start snipping it away. I wouldn't worry about the gillnet because it's huge. Yeah. Scuba, just cut out each flasher individually. So the game plan was Damien was going to go down and use the rest of his air on areas that had a ton of flashers where you would need to spend a little more time, cut it out. Because me and Derek, we're free diving, we're going down there grabbing what we can, and we try to focus on these loose flashers like I'm doing here, grabbing 1, 2, 3, 5 at a time, whatever we can. Because in areas where there's a ton of gill net, ton of rope, we're just burning a lot of energy, and it's really hard to cut through it and plow through it. And also, you guys already know, I've talked about this many times, we used to use knives and snippers and all that to go down there and you snip away, but what I realize works best for me, the guys kind of have their own preferences, is going down there and grabbing a flasher and just ripping it. Honestly, it's very rare where a flasher is stuck on something to the point of where I can't rip it manually unless it's a giant rope. And you're not wasting time just sitting there with scissors snipping away. Plus, a lot of guys use steel braid and cable, so you're not snipping past that. So it's just a lot more effective, the old grip it and rip it method. This is really where teamwork makes the dream work, because we got the 3 of us and we're running heavy on this thing. We're going dive after dive. Me and Derek are not taking much time resting at the surface, which isn't good, but also, we're on a time crunch. Damien is down there. He's working the more complicated sections. Derek is working his section of the log. I'm kind of in my section of the log, and we're really putting a hurt on this thing, especially because it's over 40 feet. You know, you got to be a little more strategic with it. You can't just go down there and lily-gag. You got to know what you're coming down, what area you're hitting, what you're grabbing, and it's just really fun. Really love dives like this. Really challenges us. You already know, it's very rare where we have a scuba tank. Like, I think out of this whole year, all the gear recovery videos we've done, this is the second time we have a scuba tank. We just don't really use it. We enjoy the challenge. It's great for our spear fishing, and just physically it's more of a workout, more enjoyable. That being said, I'm really glad we had it today because there was a lot of work to do, and it would have been a lot longer without the scuba tank. One thing I'll quickly touch on, and that's explaining what we're diving for and what this is, because going off the comments, a lot of people have no idea what this fishing gear is and how it works. And essentially, this is called trolling gear, and you have this big 360 flasher, these plates that we're finding, tech deck looking things that you guys say, and they spin in the water in a 360, use basically bouncing light, attracting fish, and behind it is a cut plug of some kind with either fish in it or just a spinner blade, and essentially fish will be attracted to the flasher, they'll come up and they'll whack whatever is trailing behind it. So just to give you an explanation, it's used for salmon, it's used in our rivers, in our ocean, and it's a most popular method for trolling in our waters here.
There's a lot. It just keeps going in all different directions. You'll see the one spot I've been diving the entire time. The only time I've dug a different spot is when we were down there together.
We just got done with that monster snag and we didn't even come close to finishing it, so we're gonna mark it. I'm gonna come back.
Best find so far is a flashlight, and when Cam's not available, we got our own boat.
Tote, he's looking good, but we've seen better.
But we know what's down there. There's a lot.
I want 5 chrome dip flashers per waypoint.
He's going camping, and he said he's gonna leave the boat for us.
That's what we like to hear.
No, I'm just gonna keep you busy while I'm gone.
You guys figured out how to use the side scan yet?
We're big side scan guys, turns out.
So we got about 15 minutes left before we have to go, so the boys are marking snags hard.
See how that's coming up? Like, see that point there? That point there is casting that shadow all the way there. So this is your big snag. We did go right over the top of it. If it's in the black area, we did go over the top of it, but you got that.
That's the one we nailed hard last week.
Look, now look, when I turned the sensitivity up, you can see it even in the black area, the root ball, and how high it sticks up.
Yeah, that looks just like it. All we're basically getting out of this is that we're coming back here and we're diving here for the next week easily, and we'll stay busy with work. So literally just got off Cameron's boat, and the other guy, Casey, who we've dove with once before, is also getting in. So he's like, yo, I just lost a rod at the mouth too. we're like, oh, you know, whatever. Let's just already half off. Let's just do another good deed. So we're gonna go out with Casey, try to get his rod. It's a little shallower, around 30 feet. We're getting on another boat, from one boat to another. Yeah. Not even leaving the dock today. Hey, we're about to flood that thing. Diver down. We need a rod in your hand next time we see you.
Don't worry, Doc. We got it. We'll do.
I ain't going nowhere.
All the heavy lifting.
I ain't going nowhere. So, boys spent 30, 40 minutes, no rod.
Nah, 2 hours.
I didn't even get in. And we're gonna go hit one more snag that we hit last week. Collect a couple more freshies.
Just a little cleanup. Just a quick little cleanup.
Is there more down there?
Yeah. Yeah. Just look at them. Look at that. I think we just sold this one yesterday.
Derek, pass this along to you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That one's ready for the crab boil. We're doing the final count up here.
106.
Did you count this one right here?
107.
Did you count these 6 right here?
What are those 6?
My little clean stash.
107, so...
Plus 6, 113.
That's not bad for...
For retrieving a rod, messing around, trying to find another rod, and not taking any snags seriously, 113 flashers is
Pretty good.
decent. Oh, wait. Casey took 6, 7.
We're 120.
We're 120 today.
Because there was a flasher on the rod.
And there was a flasher on the rod. 121. 121, final number. The boys are in the game.
Check out the product.
We're going back out tomorrow to try to get that big snag, so see you guys in the water. This is quite the upgrade for what we're used to out here. We're borderline yachting today, is what we call this. It's about time for a diver down. We think we're on the spot that we left off. That's how you know it's the last day of summer right here. When you see that, that's screaming last day of summer. We'll see you guys in the water. Hopefully right on top of that snag. Big snag, 42 feet of water. So thankfully we were able to mark the snag on our phones really good. So we put the boat right on top of it, and this is me taking first drop. And first thing we always like to do is mark it with a buoy. So I'll go down, I'll clip it to something, and then we have a buoy at the surface. And this just makes our lives a lot easier when diving down, because obviously the river's really murky. I was pulling snags up all the way to the surface with this one. We got currents here that switch because this is a coastal river. So even this far in, we still have incoming and outgoing tides. So having that marker is really nice because you could drop on the log every single time. And as you guys could tell, still a lot of work to do. Tons of flashers. Damien brought another scuba tank. He refilled it. We figure there's probably another 100 to 150 flashers down here, plus lead, which obviously is a lot of weight and takes a lot more time because you're only able to grab a couple balls at a time.
So keep an eye out for different flashers everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to clip the bag to the float, put some weight in it.
I'm going to say a couple more thoughts and I'm going to hop off and you guys can enjoy the rest of this video. We had a lot of incredible days out in the river doing gear recovery dives. Days like this where we pull 100, 200 plus flashers in 1 day or 2 days, just find monster snags. It's a ton of fun. But also there's a whole nother side to the coin of days where we went out, we explored new areas, we explored new snags, and we maybe got 20, 50, 75 flashers, stuff like that. And a lot of those videos I probably will never put out just because maybe I feel like these videos set the standard so high that I feel like maybe they're just not enough to put out and make a whole YouTube video about it. But don't be fooled. The boys definitely got after it this fall, and we dove a ton. We were diving 3 to 5 times a week, cleaning up the rivers, cleaning up the snags. Most of these dives you'll never see just because videos like this exist where it's just hard to top, where we pull 200 flashers out in a span of 2 days. So enjoy this video. This is a good one. You'll notice with every dive there's less and less flashers until we just run out of work and we're done for the day. So enjoy it, and I'll tune back in at the end of the video. So we just came up. Me and Derek did an honest effort. Free diving. Decent. And then Bubbles just came up. He's blowing some heavy bubbles today. Why do you look like you're struggling? Is it heavy or something?
Come on, Bubbles. I'm getting rope burn. You gotta look tough for the camera. Ah, yeah. Oh.
Couple flashers in there. Let's maybe put it on the floor, get all the lead out, and then dump it.
Here, what
We got lead for sure.
So coin lead.
We're going back down to get the rest of the lead.
That is a good question.
My camera ended up dying, but Damien left a pile of lead at the bottom of the river, about 30 to 50 pounds worth of. And me and Derek took a couple more drops, brought all the lead up, and we were done for the day. My family were in town, so my parents ended up coming on the boat along with my wife, and we just kind of hung out, trolled, fished. I never did an official count up, but it was like 250 plus flashers that we got in the last 2 days. And enjoy a video of my wife thinking she's reeling in a fish because we told her there's a salmon on, but all she's doing is just reeling in the bait, which is the flasher, the lead, and all that. It just shows how heavy it is. But yeah, super fun video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you on the next one.